Welcome to our physics class. Last day, what we learned that the states of matter, solid, liquid, and gas, arrangement of molecules in solid, liquid, and gases, properties of solids have the definite shapes, solid have a definite volume, solid have texture, solid have many free surfaces, solid is incompressible. This we learned in our last class. Today we learn the properties of liquid. We learn the properties of liquid. Liquid do not have a definite shape but have a definite volume. In a liquid, the molecules are closely packed. This allows some movement of molecules. They are free to move around and slide, slip, and glide. They slide also, they slip also, they glide also. That is why over one another. Hence, liquid do not have definite shape. They take the shape of the containers they are put in. Which container? Like water. Water is a liquid. When we put the water in any shape of the container, it takes its shape. So liquids don't have the definite shape. It takes the shape of the container where we keep it. But liquids have the definite volume. How can we prove it? We take different types of container like a flat bottom flask, a conical flask, a beaker, a measuring cylinder. In the measuring cylinder, how much water we put, we read it, and then we make it in the conical flask. It takes the shape of the conical flask. Again we put it in the round bottom flask. It takes the shape of the round bottom flask. When we put it in the beaker, it takes the shape of the beaker. So the solids have the definite volume, not the definite shape. This is the activity 5. Liquids have a tendency to flow. Why the liquids have the tendency to flow? Because it slips, it glides, it slides one another. So a liquid generally flows because its molecules are able to slide, slip, and glide over one another due to the weak intermolecular force of attraction. Liquids cannot be compressed much. We cannot compress liquid much. In liquids, though the spaces between the molecules are more than those between the molecules of solid, yet the molecules are still quite close together. Therefore, liquids cannot be compressed. It compressed to a small extent. The molecules of the liquids are not like solids closely compact. Then also it does not compressed much more because the intermolecular space between the liquids are not that much more. So it's only compressed very little bit. Liquids have a free surface. Liquids have only one free surface at the top. At the top of the liquid, that is the free surface of the liquid. So these are the properties of the liquid. Now the properties of the gases. Gases have neither a definite shape nor a definite volume. The gas don't have the definite shape, don't have the definite volume. If we keep a gas in any shape of the container, it takes the shape of the container as well as the volume of the container. The intermolecular space in gases is maximum and there is negligible intermolecular force of attraction. Why? The gases have neither a definite shape nor a definite volume? Because the intermolecular space in the gas is maximum and there is negligible intermolecular force of attraction. So the molecules move freely all around in a closed container and fill the entire space irrespective of its shape or size. Thus, gases take the shape and volume of the container they occupy. Activity 6. We take two shapes of balloon and we are take balloons of different shapes and inflaten them with air. What do you observe? The air inside the balloons take the shape of the balloon. It has no shape of its own. This shows that the gases have no definite shape. They take the shape of the container they occupy. Gases have maximum fluidity or capacity to flow. Since the molecules of gases move about freely, they flow easily. Gases are highly compressible. Since there is a lot of empty space between the molecules of a gas, they can be easily compressed. For example, a large amount of liquefied petroleum gas, LPG, and compressed natural gas, CNG, are compressed and put inside relatively small cylinders for use. We are using which cylinders of gas? It is very compressed gas. Gases are highly compressible. Gases have no free surface. The molecule in gases move very quickly in all directions. As a result of this random motion, gases do not have any free surface. Gases do not have any free surface. Now, distinguishing properties of solid, liquid and gases. A comparison of properties of solid, liquid and gases is given table number 2.1. What is that one? That shape, solids, liquid and gas. Solids have a definite shape. Liquids have no definite shape. Take the shape of the containers in which they are kept. Gases have no definite shape. Take the shape of the container in which they are kept. Volume. Solids have a definite volume. Liquids have a definite volume. But gases have no definite volume. Take the volume of the container in which they are kept. Compressibility. Generally not compressible. Solids are generally not compressible. Liquids slightly compressible. Gases highly compressible. Fluidity. Rigid cannot flow. Solid is rigid, cannot flow. Slightly liquid can flow and solids flow easily in all direction. Free surface. Solids many free surfaces. Liquids only one free surface. Gases no free surface. Space between molecules. In solid negligible space. In liquid some space. Gases lot of space. Attraction between molecules. In solid very strong. Liquid not so strong. Gases very weak. Movement of molecules. Solids doesn't move, only vibrate in their fixed position. Liquids move around within the liquid. Gases move freely in all directions. These are the comparison of properties of the solid, liquid and gas. Next is activity 7. We take some solid in a syringe and some liquid in another syringe and some gas in another syringe, and we cover its nozzle, and then we compress the solid fast. It cannot compressible, liquid little bit compressed, and gas is compressed mostly. This is the activity. So what we come to conclusion in this activity, from the observation it is clear that gases are highly compressible, liquids are only slightly compressible, and solids are incompressible. Now concept map, what is given here: matter occupies space and has mass, exists in three states: solid, liquid and gas. Solids, definite shape and volume, rigid, incompressible. Liquid, no definite shape, definite volume, can flow. Slightly compressible, no definite shape or volume, flow easily. Highly compressible. These are the concept map. Now you know matter is defined as anything that occupies space and has mass. Matter exists in three states: solid, liquid and gas. The force of attraction between the molecule and substance is called intermolecular space between the molecules. Solids have definite shape and definite volumes. Liquid do not have definite shape and definite volume. Definite volume is there, but definite shape is not there in liquid. The space between the molecules of a substance is called intermolecular space. The force of attraction between the molecules of a substance is called intermolecular force of attraction. Liquids do not have definite shape but have a definite volume. Gases have neither a definite shape nor a definite volume. Liquids and gases have a tendency to flow. Gases are highly compressible. Mass, the amount of matter contained in an object. Intermolecular force of attraction, the force of attraction between the molecules of a substance. Intermolecular space, the space between the molecules of a substance. Fluidity, the ability of substance to flow easily. Today we read these things. So today what we learn? First we learn that one, the properties of liquid. What are the properties of liquid? Liquid do not have definite shape but have a definite volume. Liquids have a tendency to flow. Liquids cannot be compressed much, and the liquids have a free surface. These are the properties of liquid. Then what we learn? We learn that one, the properties of gases. Gases have neither a definite shape nor a definite volume. Gases have maximum fluidity or capacity to flow. Gases are highly compressible. Gases have no free surface. Then we are reading or distinguishing the different properties of solid, liquid and gas. This is given in a tabular form in your book. We learn it, and then we learn the concept map, some keywords, and now you know these things. Now you know these things, we learn for our short questions. We will get many questions answer from here, and keywords also we will get many questions answer from here. So today we learn up to this. Next day again we will meet and learn some question answer of this chapter. Okay, bye today.